Welcome back everybody. Today I'm going to do a review from the house of Olfactive Studio. This is 2017 release. I don't know if you can see that. Woody Mood from Olfactive Studio. 2017. Perfumer is the legendary Bertrand Duchaufour. So I'll give you a breakdown of this very quickly. It's a straightforward review, but I'm going to spray some on. What I want to mention though is Olfactive Studio make bottles that have amazing atomizers. This opens up with a blast of citrus. It's even though bergamot is listed here, it's almost an orange tinted bergamot because it's mixed in with ginger, and they're the main notes you smell first up, like that really bright fizziness of ginger, citrus, bergamot, could be orange, I don't know. But what I do smell immediately underneath is some cocoa, and it almost has a very similar smell to Jaffa lollies or chocolates, the chocolate orange flavored candy that you can buy. That's the opening. And you know, before I've had this for nearly a couple of years, and I've never quite noticed that cocoa in the opening like I did just then. I noticed it earlier today when I was testing it and taking notes. But that's how it opens up. Then what happens is, as it develops, it starts to get a little bit smokier. There is frankincense that comes right through here, and in the hands of Duchaufour, frankincense is always treated beautifully in his compositions. Here, it's warmed up with woods. And now, one of the notes listed here is sequoia wood. I don't really know what that smells like in comparison to other woods. It's definitely dry woods with a bit of smoky frankincense. And there's also an ingredient here called Indian nard, which I believe is related to valerian root and it supposedly has a musky, earthy characteristic. There is a little bit of that as it dries down into the mids. But I can't say definitively whether that is what I'm smelling or what is causing that characteristic in the dry down. Eventually it develops and settles into this very nice, delicate combination of a leather note, some patchouli, which still is combined with the cocoa. The cocoa remains all the way throughout. There is a hint of tea. And it is a listed note in here, but it's not very prominent. And also, I don't know, I'm not sure what it's adding to the scent. Like, that's only something obviously the perfumer would know. It might be enhancing it, one of the other notes or accords, but it's not like, oh, I can smell that this is a tea fragrance. Tea is a note, but it's not very prominent. For me, this is mainly it's got some distinct phases, that bright gingery orange opening, even though it's supposedly bergamot. I just smell orange, that dusty cocoa beneath that. Then the transition into smoky frankincense, a bit of very dry woods, and eventually into this nice leathery patch in the base. Overall though, when you're wearing this and you're not thinking too deeply about the notes that you're smelling, the individual notes you're smelling, it is essentially a bright, smoky, woody fragrance. And it's interesting that given who the perfumer for this is, in some ways this is almost to me feels like I don't want to say update, another version of what Duchaufour created with Timbuktu, where Timbuktu has a bit of a base, but he's got, you know, for the fruity top, he's got the green mango and that smoky incense going through it. And this is kind of like I guess, an earthier, drier take on that. To me, it's as effective. I still, you know, hold Timbuktu in very, very high regard, but this is just like a kind of director's cut, not a director's cut, it's just another version of a similar kind of composition. What I'm trying to say basically is if you really like Timbuktu, I think you should give this a try and see what you think about it. But I want to be clear, they are not smell-alikes or copies of each other. I think I just get reminded of the themes in Timbuktu with Olfactive Studio's Woody Mood. It has very good performance. I smell this for at least 8 hours, and it has pretty good projection as well for the first few hours. Albeit it's not monstrous, it's not hugely strong. It's just strong enough, and there's no issue. I don't have any issue with performance. I don't, you know, wonder why I can't smell it after a couple of hours. This lingers, and it's very good on close as well, even longer. So that is my review of Olfactive Studio's Woody Mood.